Wow. Okay, now that we got the rest of the spoilers for this chapter, it's way crazier than what we thought. Because not only is Emu showing up at Elbaf, like, through Gunko, but Emu is ready to fight. Like, Emu, I'm pretty sure, is going to fight in the next chapter. It's blowing my mind. We'll get into how that's happening. There's a bunch of other stuff that's going on in this chapter too. So let's get into it. But first, let's quickly go over the spoilers from yesterday. So catch you guys up to speed. It'll make more sense of what we're going to be talking about today. The chapter continues from the last one. We get Scopper versus Summers. Gaban completely defeats Summers and cuts his body into pieces using Haki and his axes. Summers stays alive but can't regenerate. Gunko goes to Colin and she says that she'll kill him if Scopper doesn't surrender. He does. She stabs him and throws him from the tree. We get a flashback of Brook's past and learn that he knew Gunko a long time before he became a pirate. Gunko regains control of her mind and tries to free Brook. Emu takes control of Gunko's body and is furious because the Holy Knights took too long and the Holy Land is currently burning and under attack. The chapter ends with Emu saying, "Mu will show how a god rules over the world." So now for these new spoilers, we're going to go more into what we learned yesterday. So, Gaban cuts Summers in two across the chest with an attack called Futaraku, which means heavenly music axe, and it's pronounced the same as infallible in Japanese. Summers falls on the thorns, and since he cannot recover, he stays there during the whole chapter. So yeah, we went over this. Scopper can somehow overcome the regeneration that the Gorosei and the Holy Knights have. He's not like permanently damaging them, but I likened it more to like how Law's Devil Fruit works. Like when he wants to cut you but not kill you, you know, and leave you in pieces. That's essentially what's happening here. So, not killing them, but essentially defeating them. So I guess you can chalk that up as a win for Scopper over Summers here. When Gaban goes to help Colin, we can see a little flashback of Colin's birth. Back in the present, Gaban tells Colin to hold on a second as Gunko starts to stab Colin's neck with an arrow sword. Colin's neck starts to bleed. So we're seeing a flashback of Colin's birth. To be honest, I'd like to see a flashback of Colin's inception. You know, because that's like the real interesting dynamic about their relationship, Scopper and Rayleigh. And not for gooting purposes or anything, just for scientific purposes. I mean, come on. How does that work? Gaban is furious and ready to attack Gunko. Black lightning comes from his axe, but Gaban's observation Haki shows him that Colin will be killed before he can save him. We see how Gunko pierces Colin's neck. So Gaban drops his axe saying, "Please stop, I surrender." Gaban's expression is heartbreaking. Whoa! Alright, Gaban is top tier in the series for sure. I probably should have included him in the video I made with Sai last week about going over the current strongest characters in the series. I thought maybe because he gave up against Luffy Gear 5, that kind of hard scaled him, but maybe it doesn't, because he's showing observation Haki on the level of Shanks. I mean, we've seen this from other characters before, but Oda really likes to emphasize it with only specific instances and characters. Then, in an amazing double page, Gunko stabs Gaban's torso with 3 arrows. Gaban falls from the giant branch, saying sorry to Colin and Elbaf. Okay, maybe I jumped the gun a little bit. No, Scopper is still incredibly strong. He is a top tier character for sure. I wouldn't say him getting taken out by Gunko is like destroying his stock completely. I mean, come on, given the situation at hand, it's understandable why he would go down here. Plus, he kind of just like let her stab him. So it seems like Scopper is being defeated already, which is understandable because, you know, he took out Summers. So it's kind of like Oda balancing. This situation, I suppose. Keeping Scopper strong for sure, but also still protecting Gunko in the process. So my friend asked me what would happen if he just threw his vape out the window. And I told him, all right, go ahead. And then I gave him an immediate replacement with Fume, which is today's sponsor. I've been working with Fume for a few years now, and it seems like it's helped a lot of you. Fume is an award-winning flavored air device that delivers great taste without any harmful chemicals. Instead of inhaling vapor, you simply just breathe in natural, non-toxic flavors that satisfy the craving without the downside. No vapor, no nicotine, just flavor. Designed with a high-quality build and a sleek aesthetic, it's also great for oral fixation and fidgeting. My go-to flavor is crisp mint because it's super refreshing and keeps me feeling sharp throughout the day, but Fume offers tons of different flavors, so there's something for everyone. So guys, over 500,000 people have already made the switch to Fume as part of their habit change journey. And if you're ready to try for yourself, Now's the time, because for a limited time, if you order the Journey Pack using my code Zhoniin, you'll get a free fume topper, an awesome accessory to level up your experience. So check the link in the description or go to tryfume.com/Zhoniin or scan the QR code on the screen to get yours today. Thanks, guys. After that, we have the epic last double page of the chapter. As Colin cries out for his dad, Gunko suddenly remembers something from her past. First, we see an adult woman crying and screaming, "Father!" Woman's hair is similar to Gunko's, but we can't see her eyes, so we can't confirm 100% if she's Gunko or another woman. Gunko says, "What is this memory?" And then we see another flashback panel. This time we see Brooke holding the hand of a little girl and saying, "Yo ho ho, becoming a pirate is my dream." It seems they are in a place with music. We only see their silhouettes. We can't confirm if that little girl is Gunko, but everything points to that. So this was one of the huge reveals yesterday. Apparently Gunko is being controlled. Not like actively, as we'll see, but she has like some kind of false persona going on. And it appears that she's much older than it seems, right? Because if she was able to have a memory with Brooke before he became a pirate, that was over 50 years ago, for sure. So there's something crazy going on with Gunko. Not sure if Imu did the same kind of Gorosei magic to her as to where she just stays the same age forever or something. That's kind of like the implication with the Gorosei. I guess that has to be the case, or Gunko has like some kind of Dr. Korea thing going on. I don't know. I guess she could possibly come from the same kingdom that Brooke did. We don't know exactly what it was, but he just says that he came from a place and he was like a part of the army there or something. So it begs the question of like, why? Why are they going through all of this to like control Gunko and make her a god knight when they could have easily just bred a celestial dragon to be a complete beast, the way that like Garling and Summers are, and Killingham. In the present, Brooke looks at Gunko saying how similar they are. And then Gunko runs towards Brooke saying, "What is it, Brooke?" But suddenly Imu's voice appears in all three god knights' heads. Imu says, "Why are you taking so much time?" Summer says, Killingham says, "My Imu." Giant kids say, "What is wrong with that woman? Her face is suddenly so scary." Imu says, "The Holy Land is engulfed in flame. We need the military power now." In a effing epic last panel of the chapter, we see that Imu takes over Gunko's body. Gunko has now Imu's eyes and several black lightning coming out from her body. Imu says, "I will demonstrate what it means to be ruled by God." So, wow. I am hyped. This is pure dopamine. I miss this from Oda. I love moments like this. Let's try to break it down as best as we can. So, Imu can do this now. I don't know if she could just take over anybody, like anybody that she's implied to be given powers to, you know, people that have the mark or can regenerate or go through the abyss. But it appears that she could take over Gunko. And maybe that's why they've gone through all of this trouble to have Gunko as a holy knight, because she can like double as this vessel for Imu possibly. So I guess this means that Gunko wasn't always controlled by Imu. Whatever's going on with Gunko, they like gave her a new personality or whatever. And now we're seeing what actually happens when Imu takes her over. Now, how strong is Imu once they take over Gunko? I'm not going to say they're the strongest in the verse, but I'm going to say they're probably ridiculously powerful. I mean, Imu by themselves is probably number one in the verse right now. Just taking a guess, I think that's fair to say, right? But taking over Gunko probably makes her incredibly powerful. And then that also goes into like, who could fight Imu in Gunko's body right now? I guess Luffy? Is Luffy gonna come up here? And then we're gonna see Luffy versus Imu in Gunko's body? That would be too good. But I could see Oda doing that. Maybe for a clash or a little bit. I mean, this would be a great way for Luffy to meet Imu without having to go to Mary Joie. Wow. The possibilities are so fascinating. And I don't want to ramble on and on about this because I guess I'll just have to make a follow-up video once we get the panels for this chapter, right? But I guess it's gonna have to be Luffy, maybe even Zoro and Sanji all teaming up to take on Gunko Imu here. Not really sure. Also, Imu saying that Mare Joie's on fire. Don't know what's going on with that. Somebody must have attacked it. Occam's razor says that it's a revolutionary army, meaning that Dragon might have finally made his move. And if it's not Dragon, then it could be like a false flag by Blackbeard. And maybe he comes and saves the day, gets in the good graces, and joins the world government like what his initial plan was that he told to Kuzan a couple chapters back. Not a couple, it was like a lot of chapters, but so much to talk about. It is so exciting right now. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make a third video about this chapter once we get the panels. We'll go more into Emu, Gunko, and Summers versus Scopper, and what's going on with Mary Joie and all that stuff. But yeah, guys, let me know what you thought about this chapter in the comments, and if you liked the video, please give it a like, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.